out. Circular right hand drop, but no. That looks like a clean knockdown.
Yeah, this is so chilled. So we just chat.
Chilled.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been so fucking pumped to get you on, eh? So it's good having you.
Thanks for having me.
I usually start it by like you just explaining how you got to where you are, like where you grew up. I know you're a Tassie girl.
Yeah.
One of the boys I'm good mates with, Robbo. He's a Tassie boy,
Oh,
so
cool.
I thought he'd be here. But yeah, explain how you got to where you are now.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
All right. Well, I originally I grew up in Tasmania.
Yeah.
And growing up, I was always into sports, like into basketball, gymnastics, things like that. And then I decided to get into like a fit box kind of kickboxing class just to lose weight after I had my eldest son.
Yeah.
Because I decided to just eat for 4 people when I was pregnant with him. So yeah, I had a lot of weight to lose, so I decided to just go into a fitness class, and that's where I found MMA.
Yeah.
And I saw an MMA class going on there, and I was like, I want to...
Shut that door, maybe. Sorry.
You're right. I want to be a part of that. I want to try that out.
Yeah.
Wrestling and choking each other out and stuff. So.
Did you always have that, like, fighting in you? Do you feel,
Yeah,
you
look,
did?
I was a rough kid
Yeah.
growing up. I'm the youngest of 4.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to defend myself against my asshole siblings.
What like boys, girls?
1 boy, two girls.
Yeah.
And then I had stepbrothers and sisters on either side as well.
Yeah.
And but I was like, I just wanted to play with my brother.
Yeah.
I think he's 6 years older than me. And I was just a little tomboy, and I just wanted to play with him. Like, I'd play footy out on the road with them, and they'd do
Aussie rules?
Yeah, Aussie rules. Big screamers on me, and I'd face plant into the concrete, and I'd just get up, dust myself back off, and because they were just trying to like get me out of there. They didn't want an annoying little sister playing with them. So, but yeah, then I was in got into a bit of trouble in high school. I was just a rebel of a kid.
Like fighting and shit? Or?
Yeah, like just hanging around the wrong kind of people, and I had a really bad temper. So.
Yeah.
And I decided to solve a lot of my problems with my fists.
Yes, yeah.
So going into a fighting sport kind of was natural for me. It was a place for me to kind of put my anger and my issues into something legally and not get into trouble. So yeah, it was a good path for me to go down because I wanted to clean my act up. Obviously, for my son, I had to keep my head screwed on and stay out of trouble when I fell pregnant with him. So. Yeah, it was a good outlet for me. I still call it my therapy.
Yeah. Do you think most fighters like go through that sort of like path? Like
I think you'll find it. I think you'll find most athletes in general we're just wired differently. There's something in our brain that doesn't tell us to stop, I guess, or you want to push yourself to the extremes. And I don't think every person has that. And I think that's why you see a lot of elite athletes going out and getting into trouble and doing these crazy things, and people are shocked. I'm like, why are you shocked by that? Like the shit that we do, clearly we're wired differently.
Yeah, 100%.
This shouldn't shock you.
100%.
So yeah, I think a lot of fighters definitely found the sport as their therapy.
Yeah.
They probably got into it for the wrong reasons, or something to give them therapy, their outlet, something to hit. And then fell in love with it, and it gave me a lot of humility, respect. I realised there's no honour, fighting in the streets, not proving anything. I'm not winning, street fighting championships by smacking someone.
That's one thing I've noticed. Like, I'm no fucking fighter or anything, but you always wonder what you'd be like in a fight. But then you do a bit of boxing, and you don't want to fight anyone. No. It's just like that all goes out the window.
Yeah.
So is that what you found?
Definitely humbling.
Yeah.
Definitely humbling. Because I got my ass kicked for the first, 3 years of training. I was probably the only girl.
Yeah.
With a room full of guys, and they didn't want me there, so they would try and kick my ass. So yeah, you definitely take your licks. You get humbled, and you find your limits and what you're good at and what you're not, and it's whether you have that kind of drive to stick at it and try and push yourself and get better. Yeah. Which I've always been highly competitive, and just felt natural for me. I felt like I finally found something I belonged in. Yeah. I knew I was always, an athlete competing, but I was lost at that point until I found the sport. Fighting.
And was it MMA from the start?
It was, yeah.
So how did you get to, obviously everyone would know you for the UFC and explain that.
Well, I had my first pro fight 2011. And I got knocked out actually in my first fight. I got kicked in the head.
Was that the Page one?
No, Rhiannon Thompson. Her name is a Tassie girl. It was in Tassie.
Oh, this is in Tassie?
Yeah, my first professional fight. And yeah, that was a crazy fight because I was winning up until the moment she kicked me in the head. Yeah. And I always give my coach shit for that because he told me to circle off the cage, and I circled off the cage, but I had my hands down, and she's just thrown this big kick and knocked me out. So I'm like, if you didn't tell me to circle off that cage, he's like, I told you to keep your hands up too. I had 5 pro fights here in Australia, and then I got signed to Invicta Fighting Championships, which is a big all-girls promotion. This is before the UFC had girls. And so I fought for them I had a 5-fight contract with them, but I only had 3 fights with them before the UFC brought in girls, and they bought our whole weight divisions contracts and put us in the Ultimate Fighter.
So you're an OG. You're a full OG. Yeah. That is so good.
Yeah. And it's crazy because a lot of the girls that I was fighting against in the Invicta and the UFC all had, in the US, the amateur scene is huge there. Yeah. It's just now getting established here in Australia. But when I first started, there was no amateur scene. It was you fight pro or you don't fight. Yeah. So all these girls were going into it with, 15 to 20 amateur fights and then, 5 to 6 pro fights. So they've all had their learning period, their shit fights, learning what they can and can't get away with and things like that. Whereas I was just thrown in.
Thrown into the deep end.
Thrown to the wolves, yeah. And I held my own, but then I had a lot of shitty fights too, just because
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that kind of competition.
That's probably made you who you are, though. Like
absolutely.
That, yeah.
And I've never turned down a fight. Never
Yeah.
turned down a fight with the UFC, with Invicta, bare knuckle, nothing. I've taken every fight that's been thrown at me. And you'll see a lot of people in the UFC when they don't fight often, it's because they've turned a fight down.
Yeah.
And then they get thrown to the back of the list. So they can get on a waiting list for 6 months before they get offered another fight.
Yeah, fucking hell.
So it's like, and you're in a position where, especially with the UFC, you weren't getting paid that much.
Mm.
So I had to fight.
What was it like? Fight. Everyone keeps saying about fighter pay and that.
Yeah.
Like, what's your views on that?
Well, I've
From
got
then
paid.
to like now, even. As well.
It's increased a little bit, but not much. The people that are getting signed, the up and comers they're not making any money, and a lot of it goes to tax, managers, training fees. You're losing money every fight camp, and it's shitty because they have the capabilities to pay their fighters more, but they don't.
They're greedy, eh?
Yeah, I didn't. My experience with the UFC, I didn't enjoy.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't like it.
I was going to ask you,
wouldn't go
like
back.
Dana White's on here. Like, what are your thoughts?
I've met him once. That was with the Ultimate Fighter. He was lovely. He was good, but I just, the promotion itself, I kind of, you're just a piece of meat.
Yeah.
And once they're done with you, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah. That's so similar to AFL, I feel. Yeah. Like, it's once you're out, they fucking do not give a shit.
Yeah, don't give a fuck.
They say they do, but
Nah.
deep down, they don't care.
No.
Yeah.
Even like in a fight, so fight week, you get your schedule and they're on your ass. You've got to be here, you've got to be there, and they're checking in with you. As soon as you fight and you get handed your check, you get handed a piece of paper that shows you your airport shuttle, what time you're getting picked up, and that's it. They don't care.
Fucking hell.
You contact them, I need this, I need that.
No.
Fucking luck.
Yeah, right.
That was my first experience after my first fight with them. I was like, oh, I don't know if I was spoilt with Invicta because it's such a really tight-knit community.
Yeah.
That promotion, Shannon Knapp, the promoter, is just awesome and she cares about you. And so I feel like I was expecting that. Maybe I was expecting too much.
Yeah.
From a big, corporation.
And is Invicta just Australia or is that worldwide?
No, it's American.
Oh, American, right.
Yeah. And I believe the UFC's bought, they own it, I think.
Okay.
But Shannon Knapp still runs it, so it's still got that,
So you still follow that closely?
Because that's where all the girls, so you'll see if you follow the girls in Invicta, all the champions then get signed to the UFC.
Yeah, right.
So you can watch them coming up. You can watch them grow as an athlete and a fighter, and so it's cool to watch. I always support Invicta.
That's good. Talk us through the Ultimate Fighter. You were on that. So how was that?
Fighter, that was interesting.
What season were you?
It was Tough 20.
Tough 20, right.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You're like, that's OG shit. That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be a part of it. Like, we were the first girls, obviously, in the strawweight division to be signed to the UFC, and, the first ones to kind of lead the way for girls, other than Ronda Rousey. She was the reason we all got signed. She was the reason girls...
She like idol for you guys?
Look, I love her. I think she's great. She's had a great career, and good on her for going to WWE and making money and not having to deal with MMA fans.
Yeah.
They're assholes.
yeah.
Especially to her. But yeah, she literally paved the way for us girls. We wouldn't be in, well, I'm not anymore, but in the UFC if it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
So she's awesome. But yeah, so the Ultimate Fighter was 16 girls, I think it was. We're locked in a house for 6 weeks all up, and you had to fight each other. Yeah.
Live everything.
Yeah, and so then you add in like production and crew and all that kind of feeding and poking the lions a little bit and creating drama. It was intense.
Were you, how many Aussies? Were you the only Aussie?
No,
or?
I had another Aussie girl. I'm still friends with her, Alex Chambers.
Didn't have to fight her?
No.
Good.
She was on the other team, but no, we didn't get matched to fight. They did a weird kind of seeding. They matched the number 1 girl versus number 16 seed. So they all kind of ranked us where they thought we were.
So one would fight 16?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then vice versa, second, 15.
Right.
Yeah, and then it was eliminator.
Yeah, right. What are your thoughts on that?
I didn't agree with it, to be honest. It would have been better to just draw our names out of the hat.
Yeah.
Because, obviously number one's number one. She was the Invicta champion, who I fought also in Invicta, versus number 16, who she's still in the UFC though, Angela Hill, my really good friend and training partner. She's proved herself, but she had a fucking hard fight. First off the bat, had to fight, a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
and she'd had one pro fight. And she was fighting someone that had, 16, 17 fucking fights.
That's wild.
Yeah, so it made it interesting, though, because there was some of the lower seeds that beat, the top seeds and kind of a bit controversial. So
And that would have been good for the show.
Yeah, that's what they want. They want drama. Reality TV shows now, when I watch them, I know like they're just cutting and shutting and editing.
Yeah.
It's like, because there was moments where I was going off at a girl, warranted, because she was a fuckwit. And I'm going off at her, and they edited it so it looked like she didn't do anything wrong, and I'm just
You're the bad
exploding.
person. Yeah.
And I look like an asshole, and I'm like, that's not what I was going off at her about.
Yeah.
I went off at her about something that was warranted.
What were you going off her about?
I don't know. She's a fuckwit. Most of the time, it was because she was an asshole to the production crew.
Yeah.
Like they were her slaves, and they owed her everything. And I just don't like people, treating people like shit for no reason.
100%.
So yeah, most of the time it was because of that.
So how many fights did you have in that show?
I got knocked out in the first round. So I fought Tisha Torres, who's still with the UFC.
Okay.
And it's only 2-round fights in the
2
Ultimate
rounds?
Fighter. Yeah.
Right.
And then if they're close, they'll give you a 3rd round. And I think it was close, and I should have got the 3rd round, but they gave both rounds to Tisha.
Right.
Yeah, Nate Diaz was my coach then, and he was like giving the finger to the judges. He
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck you."
Oh, yeah, Nate
give her
as
a
your
3rd
coach.
round. Yeah,
That's so good. I
Yeah,
love
Gilbert
that, yeah.
Gilbert Melendez, and then he had his entourage, Nate Diaz, and all the
I've got
scrap
him in
pack.
as well.
Yeah,
The Diaz brothers.
Oh, cool. They're
I met,
fucking awesome.
I was in LA with my mates, and I was at a club, and Nick Diaz was in the toilet. It was just me, Nick Diaz. He was having a piss, had his back towards me, and I was doing something, I don't know. And then the, you know how in America they've got the guys who hand out the towels. It was just us 3, and Nick's turned, and I'm like, fuck, Nick. And I'm like, I shook his hand. I'm like, can I get a photo? Just to have it in there, because I didn't want to go out there and cause a scene. He's like, no, come out here. I'm like, fuck, righto. Grabbed my mate, and I'm like, get a photo. And he was just the nicest bloke ever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
How much have you had to do with them?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. He was obviously my coach, Nate, and then after the Ultimate Fighter, I went to their gym and did a little bit of my fight camp with them.
Yeah.
They're just an awesome group of guys, and just they took me under their wing.
Yeah.
And really helped me out. So
and
they're just like down to earth.
Yeah.
Kind of like I related with them because I'm Aussie.
Yeah.
Like they kind of like the same. They just don't take shit.
Yeah. Well, they're like,
straight
as you
up.
said, they don't take, like, they'll fight anyone.
Yeah, and they're not little bitches. They'll take any fight. We definitely like got along because of that. I think they just liked my attitude. And the way I am. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll fight anyone.
Yeah.
So we kind of just
Fucking oath.
clicked there.
That's good. And then from the Ultimate Fighter, you went into the UFC. And who was some of the... I know you fought Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah.
She's fucking massive now.
Yeah, she's doing really well.
And you were winning that fight as well.
Yeah, I know. It's always
you were
the
smashing
way.
that. Oh,
yeah, it was always the way. She just tricked me with that switch kick.
Yeah.
I was looking at this one and she fucking threw that one. But yeah, I fought Paige Van Zandt, Heather Clark, Tisha Torres, Jessica Rose, Theo Heham, I think is how you say her name. I don't know.
Yeah.
A bunch of fights.
Yeah.
So,
How many in the UFC?
Ashley Evans. I don't even know. I've lost count.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That many.
Ashley Evans Smith. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
A bunch.
Yeah.
It was a good ride. I enjoyed it. Like I love fighting.
Well, you made it to like the pinnacle. Like, you can't get any higher than that. Really.
Yeah, that's it. So
that's huge.
No, it was a good experience. It was cool and I've still got friends obviously that still fight for the UFC.
Yeah.
And, I've made really good relationships with friends
Yeah.
and family through it. So yeah, it was cool. Not everyone can say that they
No way.
fought for the UFC for however many years.
100%. And then you went from UFC to
I went to BareKnuckles.
straight away.
Yeah.
Have you fought in the Bellator?
Yeah.
Right.
So this is where it gets sticky.
Yeah.
So I was with BareKnuckles and I had 3 fights with them, and then and I won a world title.
Yeah.
First ever to win the BareKnuckles World Championship
Huge.
as a woman.
Fucking oath. That's unreal.
Pretty fucking cool.
Was that against that girl?
It was against Britain Hart.
Yeah.
The second fight, and then I defended it in Mexico against I can't remember her name. Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah. You won.
Yeah, won. Who cares? So that was cool, obviously, to make history there.
Fucking oath.
be the first ever woman. So
Yeah. Also, another thing, I reckon in Australia, like our champions, like you got the Volk, like you.
Yeah.
No one fucking, you don't hear about them in the media and that. It's
yeah,
all like,
it's hard, isn't it?
what's the go there?
I find it. I've got more fans in America.
Yeah.
Australia just doesn't really get behind their people. I think.
Why though?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's hard for fighting because I think a lot of Australians probably think that they could do better.
Yeah.
You know, like they're kind of that tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like they think they could do it, or they don't want to see you achieve. I don't know, because they get behind footy.
Yeah.
Australians get behind their footy players, but then as soon as you fuck up, oh, you were shit anyway.
Yeah.
You should never have been there anyway. So it's like, it's just how Australia is.
Because like Paul Gallen's fighting.
Yeah.
He gets spoken about to be this, but
Yeah.
you've got Volk and that
I
who are
know.
just, it's fucked.
Yeah, and even like Cambosis, who just fought.
Yeah.
Like they didn't give him anything.
Nothing.
Like no media. And then when he loses, they're all over him.
Yeah.
The media's shitting all over him. I'm like, that's one of our, like that's us.
Yeah, 100%.
That he's representing our country and you're basically saying he's trash. I'm like,
100%.
It's really hard and like shitty to see. And that's what made me so, I think, annoyed and bitter with Australia.
Yep.
Was the way that they treat their athletes.
100%.
It's just shitty. And I can't explain it. It's not like, you know, Ireland, they get behind their people. Like, look at Connor McGregor. He has the whole fucking country behind him.
Yeah.
Americans get behind their own, but Australia's just, I don't know what it is.
They just like kicking you when you're down almost.
I think so.
It's weird.
I think they're just jealous. I think they just want to.
100%.
They think they can do it.
That's what it is. It's all jealousy.
Yeah. Like, oh, I played footy when I was younger. I could do that. Or, I got in this many street fights. I could do that.
Yeah.
Why don't you just stand up? Well, it's not fucking easy.
Yeah. Go do
You
it.
try stand up.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. It's shitty. But, yeah, Volk, I feel like Volk and Robert and there's a few other Aussies and some
Bam
New
Bam.
Zealanders. Bam
Yeah.
Bam, he's fucking
He's
killing
sick.
it.
Yeah.
They've got their niche fans. They just don't have the mainstream media.
I know.
It's just mainstream media that don't get
Yeah.
behind them, and it's shitty to see because they're
terrible.
doing so well and representing Australia. And they're like, I understand when people won't get behind me because I'm kind of controversial. I look the way I do and I talk the way I do, and I'm a woman and I probably should sit in the corner and shut up. But these, like Rob and Alex, they're all like, blue-collared, like Aussie,
100%.
hard workers, talk well, family men. There's no reason to hate on them, but they just don't get any.
And that's a big reason why I want to do this, like for that exact reason. Get you on, show who you are, because no one really sees it.
No.
And I feel like in Australia especially, we need to see more of that.
Yeah. No, it's cool to have another Aussie kind of get behind you.
Yeah,
Like, hey, we
fucking
want
oath.
to talk to you.
Yeah, all my mates, mate, they're like, fuck, you've got her, no way. I'm like, they're like, how'd you get her? I'm like, I just message her.
Yeah.
She's a normal chick. She's like awesome. So
Yeah, no,
it's
good.
sick. Let's talk about your last fight.
Yeah.
With that girl.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Nah.
I would not suggest to purchase that and buy that and watch that.
So I saw all the lead up to that, but then I was doing something when that was all
Yeah,
going on.
and a lot of people had problems with the stream as
Yeah.
well. So even if you did buy it, you probably
How do
wouldn't
you
be able
buy
to see
it?
it.
Just through the app or something?
Well, so you're meant to buy it through the BareKnuckle app,
Yeah.
but there is another streaming site called Fight TV as well. Theirs worked. For some reason, the BareKnuckle app's playing up. I don't know if it's Australia, can't see it, or
Yeah.
I don't know. But a lot of people had, trouble seeing it anyway. So,
Yeah.
which I'm not mad about because it was a shit
So
fight.
what? She just like pretty much ran the whole time.
Yeah, look, she throws punches really awkwardly, like which I was expecting because I
Yeah.
fought her the first time and she did that. But the first time she actually fought me and like wanted to get in exchanges. This time she just like kind of flurried and then literally ran.
She knew.
Yeah, and I was just punching air the whole time and I was trying to push the fight. The ref was going, "Come on, ladies, let's fight," and I'm like, "I'm fucking trying." And then the crowd's booing and she's running. At one point I put my hands down. I'm like, "Are we going to fucking fight? Like, fight me." And she's like all confused.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then at the end she's like, "Oh, if you're the best, you have to come to me and fight." And I'm like, "Well, it's a fight. You have to both agree to fight. That's how a
100%,
fight works." And obviously there was things I could have done differently, but we weren't preparing for that. Like, I wasn't preparing for her to not fight me.
Yeah.
Like, so there's only so much I could have done, but I still think I won. Like everyone, the whole, like, a lot of the crew and stuff at the BareKnuckle came to me after and they're like, "What the fuck was that decision? Like, that's atrocious." And I tried to appeal the decision as well. But
Oh, you can do that?
You can, usually. You can.
Right.
In the UFC, like MMA commissions and stuff, you can. But this commission said you can only appeal it if it was a ref's decision. So if the ref stepped in too early or thought you were knocked out and you weren't, you can't appeal a judge's decision.
Yeah.
So basically they cover their asses for them
And
not
so
doing
if
their
you win,
jobs.
if you win that appeal, what happens then? Like
It gets overturned
You win
to
then?
what they think the winner is,
Oh,
or if
right.
they think it was like a draw or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that
Or a
happened
no
before?
Contest. They've done it before in MMA, I know. I'm not so sure about boxing
Yeah.
or bare knuckle boxing. Probably
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a crap fight.
Yeah. Not again?
No,
No
I fight. No, she needs me more than I need her. I
Yeah.
can't be fucked with that bitch.
Yeah.
I hate her.
Because she got into you about your kids as well.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah. I think she thought the camera was off when she was talking to the crew, when she was doing her fight media. And like they knew what they were doing. They showed me the footage right before the weigh-ins. So we're like lining up backstage and she's like across from me and I'm just sitting there fuming. Like could feel my blood boil because I just wanted to kill her.
Yeah.
And she knew something was up. And then after the weigh-ins, because I said something to her, she was like, "Oh, I just want to say sorry," and like started crying, trying to apologize to me. And I just wasn't having
Yeah,
it. I'm like,
too late.
you've crossed a line.
Yeah.
You only want to say sorry to make yourself feel better about
Yeah.
it. I'm not going to accept your
Yeah.
apology because
So-
it's for you. It's not for me.
100%. What is the line? What are the lines for you?
I think you can attack me as a fighter because we're fighting. If you think I'm a shit fighter, call me a shit fighter. Like I called her a shit fighter. I think she's trash. And I said that to her. But I didn't go after her about her kids or about her family or like, I think there's a line. I think kids and family is one of them that you don't cross.
100%. Yeah.
And you especially don't cross it and then try and act like you're sorry
Yeah.
afterwards because you got caught
Yeah.
talking shit. And especially like someone's kids. It's like, what are you even doing looking at my kids online?
Yeah.
Like, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, why do you care what my kids are doing?
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
understand.
100%. I've always wondered, like, because like my mate Robbo, he's got that just something can flick.
Yeah.
But then like you're so nice and that, but then there's always something that flicks. When does it flick for you? Like with the fight?
I have to get zoned in, I guess, for
Yeah.
the fight. It's probably like backstage warming up.
Yeah.
I can switch over. I'm definitely able to have like a switch when I used to go to the US for my fight camps. I'd go for like 6 to 8 weeks
Yep.
and I'd have to switch off mum mode. Otherwise I'd just be crying, missing my kids every day. So I was able to, switch over and kind of get into fight mode. And
What is that mode like? What is that mode?
just focused and dialed in, just ready to do my job, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly angry or emotional. Like there's no emotion, I guess.
Yeah.
Just stone cold.
Right.
I've got a target. I've got a job that I have to do, and
Yeah.
this person's trying to, kill me. I've got to try and kill them before they kill me, basically. So,
Yeah, that's sick.
yeah, I think most athletes have that kind of switch where they can dial in and focus in
Yeah.
on their task at hand.
Yeah.
Especially if you're highly competitive and you want to
100%.
win.
Yeah.
You always want to win.
Yeah. Yeah. What was that question you were going to ask? That was good.
Like, if you wanting to have a fight and you really dislike them, will that make it easier for you to fight them? Do you reckon? Like, if you have a hatred?
Yeah, I've never had an issue fighting someone. Like I've fought people that I like also. I think when you hate them, it actually can get in the way of how you perform. Because if you get angry or emotional, or it can do the opposite where you really don't want to lose to this person. So then you kind of hold yourself back and don't put yourself at risk because fuck losing to someone you really hate.
I know. Fuck, that would suck.
Yeah. So I definitely find if there's no feelings at all for someone, like that you're indifferent to whether you like them or hate them.
Yeah.
Is better. But yeah, you definitely I had to learn how to control my emotions.
Yeah.
In sparring and fighting and stuff because I'm so hard on myself. I'd get so upset at myself. And I'd be angry crying at myself,
Yeah.
not because they're beating me.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Explain what you were saying today because your partner's your coach with, with the two. That's funny as.
It's difficult because he's my coach and my husband, and he's very emotional. He's a Latin blood. He's very fiery and very emotional. So I'm a brat. Like when sparring or like they're like my coaches. So I got 2 coaches.
Yeah.
Simon will tell me something and it's just not working. I'm like, it's not fucking working. Like, just stop telling me it. Tell me something else.
Yeah.
And he'll just go, okay, and like just take it. But if I do that to Adrian, he would get like really mad. Like he'd get upset and I'm not going to coach you then. And he would take step back and like I'd have
imagine.
no coach. And I'm like, you can't do that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not treating you like my husband right now. You're my coach. And Simon cops it when I'm a brat, so you have to cop it. And so he's figured that out. So I'm like, I'm not disrespecting you as a husband. I'm disrespecting you as a coach.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And
funny.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm admitting I'm a fucking bitch sometimes. But I'm getting
100%.
punched in the head, and it's a very frustrating experience when
He's,
shit's not working.
He's fucking good too.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Like I train, who I do training with, said he sparred him. He goes, he's the fucking toughest.
Oh, really?
bloke.
Yeah.
Like I'm joking, like a brick wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is. He's definitely in your face pressure fighter. He kind of mimics his style from Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Similar build. He hits very hard for his weight
Hang on, I'm
division.
fucking crying here.
Choke him.
Cut. Yeah, go on. Keep talking.
He hits really hard for his weight division, and he is literally like a brick wall. It's that person that he doesn't even have to be punching you. He's just stalking you, and you forever like stepping backwards, trying to get away from him, and it just drains your tank. Like you feel like you're holding your breath because you're trying to not get hit by this monster of a person.
So he's
in front of
looking
you.
just to knock you out almost.
Yeah, he doesn't take a step back, and when he does, it's like a little one, and then he's back on
Bang.
you. Yeah, so he's definitely hard to fight because he's there, and
Yeah.
he's got the gas tank, and he'll just run over you eventually in the later rounds. He's knocked like a bunch of people out, and he's been in the later rounds where they've just like they can't keep up to his pressure anymore, and it's just a matter of time before he clips.
So he's still fighting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fighting in October.
Oh right.
Yeah, he was meant to
Cool.
fight September, but he's had a little injury, so he's had to push it back. So October 8th at Eaton's Hill.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys should have to
Yeah,
come
we'll go to
that
that for sure. 100%.
Yeah, Ace Boxing is the promotion he fights for. It's really it's probably the best.
Yeah.
I would say it's the best in Australia. He puts on the best cards. It's just stacked cards full of the best fighters. There's never a boring fight, and I think he always has Adrian on. And even if they don't know him like as a fan or follow him, when they see his name, they're like, fuck yes, we're going to go to that show because they know there's always going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
There's always Adrian's.
That's sick. And what weight is he?
Super welterweight, so it's 69.9 or something kilos.
So what in UFC? Because I only really know UFC.
Yeah,
weights.
the boxing divisions are different for the UFC. So 69 would be closest to lightweight.
Okay,
170.
lightweight.
Yeah.
And with like training and then like camp. So right now he's not in camp.
Well, he was in camp because he was meant to fight September 3rd, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
So then he had a few weeks off just because he was injured. So yeah, he's at the start of his fight camp. I think it's 9 weeks.
Oh,
out.
right.
9 weeks.
So
out.
that's when it starts.
Yeah, normally 12 to 8 weeks is
Yeah.
what you want. The first 4 weeks of that's kind of getting fit and getting back into it, and then the 8 weeks is really hard.
And that's what you're doing now, just getting back into it almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't sparred since my last fight, but I've been training.
Yeah.
I'm a little under the weather this week,
Yeah.
so I've kind of tapered down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so sparring, you'd want to start sparring 8 weeks out from your fight.
Right.
That's when the hard training comes in.
That's sick. How are you enjoying? Like you were at Cooperoo, weren't you?
Yeah, Adrian's gym was Cooperoo.
Right.
I've kind of been floating around here
Yep.
in Australia. When I was with MMA, I'd float around and then I'd go over to San Diego
Yep.
and do my fight camps over there. So since being just in boxing, I've kind of been floating around. But Adrian's been my coach,
Yep.
so we kind of just go
How
wherever.
are you enjoying Eastside?
I really love Eastside.
Yeah.
It's a good gym. Like the facility is awesome.
Unreal.
The team's really good. Like it's good to have a big team of professional fighters that have the same goal.
That's what I noticed this morning. Like everyone was just, you could tell everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
No one's there. No one's been a dickhead.
Nah.
You're just all fucking zoned in.
Yeah,
which is
there
good.
to put work in and push each other and lift each other. So yeah, it's good. It's a good environment. It's
Yep.
nice change because the last gym I was at, it was just shitty. It was just not worth the trouble that came with it. So yeah, it's nice to be part of a good team and a good gym.
Nice. And so fights going forward, is there anything at the minute?
I wish.
Yeah.
They did tell me October, but I haven't heard who or where or anything. I haven't got a contract, so I'm not holding my breath. I really wanted to smash out 3 fights this year just because I had such a long layoff with COVID and all of that bullshit that went with it. Yeah, so
you can get signed by anyone still.
I'm signed exclusively to BareKnuckles.
Oh, right.
now.
So you do
two
have
more fights with them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But I really want to have a boxing fight here in Australia.
Yeah.
I think they were talking about letting me giving me permission to fight here and then fighting for them, but I haven't heard anything back yet. So hopefully, I just want to stay active. I just want to fight.
Yeah.
I need a goal. I need something to go for. Otherwise, it's just like monotonous. It's the same shit.
Yeah. That's what Nat, we're driving home and Nat's like, you can just tell she just wants to fight. She just wants to fight someone.
I do.
That's sick. Yeah.
I really do. I need that. I need the competition. It's what
Yeah.
I really crave.
Yeah.
Bashing someone too.
Yeah.
But.
That's awesome. All right, we'll get on to some questions I've written down. MMA or boxing? Like, what do you...
If you asked me this 6 years ago, I'd say MMA all day, but I really love boxing. I've really fallen in love with it. I've fallen in love with the craft and the technical aspect of it, and where you can't get away with bullshit, like you're stuck punching. I can't just grab you and take you down if I'm getting teed off on. So I really love that aspect of it.
Yeah, awesome. Favorite part of your career to date?
Definitely winning the World BareKnuckles Championships.
Yep.
Yeah. That was just a huge moment for me to be the first ever, and I was obviously the first. I was the first big name that took the risk to fight for BareKnuckles as well.
Yeah,
everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing? This is nuts!" And I was like, "Well, I took it as a sign because I got released from the UFC, and that same day they hit me up and asked me to fight. So I was like, well, this was meant to be."
Yeah.
They didn't know I got released from the UFC. No one knew at that point. So. Definitely winning the world championship in that.
That is a pinnacle. Like BareKnuckles, that is just fucking mad.
Yeah, it's brutal, but
brutal.
I love it.
Yeah. Best win you've had and the toughest fight you've had?
The toughest fight, I can remember her name now, in Mexico, in BareKnuckles, Cecilia Flores. Yep. She just didn't stop. I was looking over at the doctors, because I didn't want to punch her anymore because she was so busted up. Both her eyes were closed, her lips was busted open. And I was trying to show her mercy, but she didn't. She was still swinging, trying to knock me out.
Yeah,
so,
right.
That was a tough fight because I thought I was like, oh, she'll quit now. She'll quit, and she didn't quit. She just was in my face the whole time.
Fuck.
I was like, what the fuck do I have to do to this girl to stop her from trying to hit me?
Yeah.
That was definitely one of the toughest fight I've had. Probably my best fight would be my first BareKnuckles fight.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I had so much fun because I was going out there and had no idea what I was getting myself into. It was the unknown.
Yeah.
And she was a good boxer and she came out swinging.
Yeah.
And I really kept my composure and I feel like I showed my skill in that fight a lot because she was such a kind of a good strict boxer and let my skills shine.
Yeah.
I feel like the scrappier and the more awkward they get, the harder the fight is.
Really?
It's just really messy.
Yeah.
Because she was a good boxer. It was a prettier fight, I guess you could say.
Do you get like nervous before a fight?
Nerves, yeah. I think it's normal to have
Surely,
nerves.
yeah.
I would be worried if I didn't have nerves. But my nerves aren't like, oh, am I going to get hurt? Yeah. It's more like I really want to perform.
Yeah.
I really want to go out there and do what I know I'm capable of doing. That's where the nerves come from. It's like the only pressure I put on myself.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Biggest complaint about the fighting business?
Shady promoters, shady managers, and fighter pay. I don't have that problem with BareKnuckles. They're probably the highest paying promotion that pay their fighters what they're worth.
So you'd say they do the best business?
Well, yeah, I got paid more from the BareKnuckles than I ever did with the UFC.
Fuck.
Yeah. But obviously it comes with some other annoying
and that's just growing
aspects.
As well, the BareKnuckles.
It is. Yeah. So I think fighter pay is probably the biggest problem. And the fans that don't understand the fighter pay and they're like, oh, no one's making you fight. Or and they don't understand that. So NBA players, NFL players, they don't have to work at Starbucks on the weekends to try and make ends meet because they are elite athletes. They're getting paid to do their job. And they've got enough money to do it. Yeah. They're kind of lumping us into that and saying, oh, no one's making you do it. It's like, well, we know that, but we're definitely not getting paid our worth.
Yeah, 100%. And is that where like your other businesses go, like the OnlyFans, and you do eyelashes?
Oh no, that's my best friend's business.
Oh, that's your best
actually.
friend's.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
She does lashes. I just always promote her.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because that's like, she does eyelashes.
She's down the road actually, if you want them. Literally down the road. OnlyFans has been a fucking lifesaver for me.
Yeah.
I don't understand anyone that hates on it. I'm like, there's so many people out there doing it for free, sending their shit out for free. Like you met someone on Tinder and you're showing them your booty hole.
Yep.
Like at least I'm getting paid for it. So yeah, definitely it's given me more freedom and less stress, because fighting, like I was fighting paycheck to paycheck, and it's so stressful, especially with 2 kids. And I believed I shouldn't have to go out and get another, like a side job.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at the pinnacle of my sport. So yeah, it's definitely given me freedom, and it's just good to have another income.
100%.
Not have to stress about fighting.
It's like, it's easy work, and then you can actually do what you want to do, which is fighting. You don't have to go fucking work your backside off. So I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, and Instagram and Facebook are always fucking banning me anyway.
Are they really?
I'm always in jail on Facebook.
What?
You won't see me post for like 3 months because I'm in jail.
Why is that?
I like, honestly, the first one I shared someone else's video, and the video is still up and their page is still live, but I was banned for sharing it.
Fuck.
I don't know.
What the hell?
They don't like me. I'm too vulgar, I guess. I swear too much. I don't know. I get in trouble all the time. So
Fucking hell.
It's nice to have freedom on OnlyFans. I can say and do whatever I want.
So what is your content? Like, do you talk on there as well?
I talk, yeah. A lot of it is conversing with fans and stuff. Because I don't normally, on my other social medias, don't talk.
Yeah.
It just gets too hectic. But yeah, a lot of conversing, and obviously there's some adult content and stuff like that, but it just shows a different side of me. I think everyone always sees the fighting, the training and all of that. So yeah, it's nice to just kind of show a different side of me.
Yeah, fucking oath. One thing the fight game needs to improve on.
Yeah, I think still fighter pay, to be honest. Depends. Like, you know, boxers get paid well, and girls are finally getting paid their worth in boxing, and that's really cool to see. That's actually thanks to Jake Paul.
Yeah.
How mad's that? Like, at first I was like, this motherfucker, this YouTuber coming into our sport thing, and he can do it, but he's rallying and doing right by the fighters.
And once you get to, like, I watch a lot of his shit. Once you actually get to know what he's doing, he's fucking on the right track.
Yeah, there's a purpose for it, and there's a reason. And he's just a troll. Like, he trolls people, but it works. Yeah. But he backs it up too. Like his last fight, I was like, holy shit. Like, I'm a fan now. Yeah. But yeah, he's been a big reason as to why the girls are getting paid what they're worth with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor and all of that. So it's cool to see the girls in boxing finally get paychecks, because they've been working hard and they're fucking good. Like, I guess back in the day, the girls boxing I wasn't interested in. Like, me as a girl and someone that likes, supporting women, I was like, yeah, it's trash. Like, they're just not that good. But now it's just changed. The whole scheme of it all, the whole sport, the whole all the athletes, all the fighters they're really fucking good. Yeah. So it's cool to see them finally get paid for their hard work.
That's good. How do you deal with, like, the trolls?
My first real bad experience was after The Ultimate Fighter. That was when all the fuckwits came on. And it got under my skin at first, and then I realised Paige Van Zandt at the time was, this sweetheart, this young, sweet American girl, pretty, never said anything, outlandish, not like me, like being outspoken or anything. And she had haters. And I'm like, well, if people can find a reason to hate this girl, of course they're going to hate on me. It's like, it's not a reflection of what we are doing. It's them. It's a them problem. Yeah. People just love to hate, and people love to troll.
I feel like it just always comes back to jealousy.
It does.
They just want what you want, and that's all it is.
That's it. So yeah, I've learned to just not take it to heart. I block people if I can't be fucked with it, or and I just ignore it, because they're just not worth the time. I'd rather talk to my actual fans that are saying nice things than acknowledge the assholes.
Yeah, 100%. Connor McGregor, as you can see, he's probably the biggest reason why I've got, like, love fighting so much from when he first come on. And one of my mates messaged me saying, you done some fighting with him or training? Yeah. How was that? It
was awesome. It was great. So Bellator, I just signed with Bellator, and they were going to Ireland And I was talking to Connor, and I was like, oh, fuck, I wish I could come over and train. And he's like...
How'd you meet him? Like,
just through the Ultimate Fighter, actually, is when I first met him,
Yeah.
and just through just UFC and
Yeah.
that. He started talking to me after BareKnuckles, after I fought for BareKnuckles.
Yeah.
I think he just really loved my fight.
Yeah.
And fucking was like, you're a beast.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, he asked if he could bring me and my friend out to train when Bellator were out there. I was like, fuck yeah. So
That
he
is
flew us
so
out
good.
and we did like a cool training camp, like a week of training, and got to meet all the team and
Yeah.
train at the gym, and that was really cool. Good
Me and Nat are
experience.
going to Ireland early Jan, so
Oh, you're gonna love it.
link
It's
us up
so
with him.
much fun. Whereabouts are you going? Dublin.
Dublin,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
Because I want to go. I don't know if I can, but I want to go to his gym.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking obsessed with him. I
Yeah,
love
it's
him.
open. It's
It
open
is?
to public. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've got public classes. and
Yeah,
that.
cool. I just want to go look at it and go to
yeah.
his pub and shit.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
that's cool. I
yeah.
haven't. I didn't. Obviously, it wasn't open when I was there. But yeah, it's an awesome gym. The facility's mad. All the coaches, all the trainers and that, they're just awesome.
Yeah.
Just a good bunch of people.
That's good.
I love Irish.
Yeah.
They're just like, we get along. Aussies and
Yeah,
Irish are basically
100%.
the same.
That's sick. Dom Cruze, I saw as well.
Yeah.
You live with him.
Yeah.
How was that? He seems like an absolute workhorse.
He's a machine. He's awesome. You know, he helped me a lot with the mental side of fighting, and he was kind of like, he was my therapist and I was his therapist for a bit there, which was really cool. He took me under his wing when I first went out to Alliance to train there. But yeah, he's a machine. He's the first in the gym. He's doing all of his, mobility and rehab and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's one of the last out.
Wow.
He just hustles. His work ethic is insane.
Incredible.
And his mental strength and the way he looks at things and breaks things down is very intelligent.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool to pick his brain and see, how he sees things. And
You can tell when he talks as well. He's like the way he talks, he's in their head already.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
he
yeah.
breaks it down.
that's how we kind of got started being friends. Was he tried to say something to me, and I straight away banter back, and he wasn't
nice.
expecting. He's like, normally girls just tuck their tail and walk away, and I was like, yeah, I'm Australian,
Yeah,
so good
100%.
fucking luck.
Yeah.
He's like, I like you, because
Yeah.
we're just back and forth banter.
That's sick.
Yeah, and he's like, I like you. I can't say these things to most girls, but I can say it to you. Give a fuck. And I'm like, yeah, and you're gonna get it back.
Yeah, that's awesome. Your kids. Talk about your kids.
Yep. Zake just turned 14.
Yeah.
Thanks to him and one of his Germy friends is why I'm sick right now.
Germany friends.
Yeah.
German.
Someone
She's
gave me
German.
germs.
Oh fuck!
Not German.
You
Germy.
said Germany
Nah.
friends.
No. We're just pointing fingers now. He just had a birthday party and had a whole big sleepover.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 14 now. He's taller than me. I went for my fight in America, came back, and he's taller than me.
Wow.
In, over 2 weeks. I'm like, how the fuck did you grow so quickly?
Yeah.
And I've got an 11-year-old Ensign. They're both into basketball right
Yeah.
now, loving it. So it's good to see them kind of get stuck into sport.
Are they gonna fight? You reckon? Or
I think Ensign will. He just actually went into his first jiu-jitsu competition. And I wasn't expecting him to do well. Not that I didn't want him to do well. I just thought he would kind of freak out, because it's your first kind of conflict,
Yeah.
real conflict. And a lot of people were around, and it was a hectic for me to be there and coaching. And let alone for him to be competing. And he smashed it. He won silver and gold.
wow.
And I was so proud of him.
Yeah.
He kept his composure, did everything, listened to his other coach,
And where does he train?
at Gamebred right now, Gamebred Academy.
Yeah.
It's where I've kind of been in and out of for years, before I was even with the UFC. It's kind of
Yeah,
my
awesome.
home gym. He's got a really good coach, Michael Kennedy, who's only 14, and he's a beast.
Yeah.
And a great coach. So yeah, he's
Wait, the
doing
coach
really
is
well.
14?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good on him.
He's had MMA fights, and he wins all of his jiu-jitsu competitions.
He's gonna be
only
something.
14. Oh yeah.
Fucking hell.
Oh yeah, and he's a good kid. He's got his head screwed on.
Yeah,
and,
nice.
The kids really look up to him,
Yeah.
so it's good for them to have a coach that's kind of that they relate to. And
Yeah.
I try to coach them, and they're like, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, what would I know? I haven't just fought all around the world. I wouldn't know what I'm talking about. They just don't want to hear it from mum. They want to hear it from someone cool like their coach.
Yeah.
So
Last fighting question. What do you think, mate, to be a fighter, what do you think you need to be a fighter?
Heart. If you don't have heart and your heart's not in it, I don't think you're going to get anywhere. What's the saying? Talent, work will I don't know,
Yeah.
hard work will beat talent any day
Yeah.
if talent doesn't work. That's absolutely true. You can be talented, but you can't have, if you don't have a ticker and don't want to push yourself past your comfort zone, or you get put into a position that you don't like, you're not going to last long, especially in MMA.
Yeah, that's good. All right, now some random fucking questions. Macca's or KFC?
Macca's.
Macca's, yeah.
Yeah.
City, country or coast?
Yeah, if you asked me that a while ago, I would have said city, but I'm really, really wanting to go to the country
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
If it wasn't for the kids and their school, I would move the fuck away from everyone
Yeah.
and just have like a zoo. Just
We've
have
been
all my farm animals.
Yeah, we've been looking on real estate. Some of the properties out there, but fuck.
Yeah. Have you seen that real big one that's up for auction? It's got like a motocross park and
In Queensland?
yeah, it's near Toowoomba.
Oh,
It's
right.
like you wouldn't have to leave. It's got everything. Yeah, I'm like,
That'd
I
be so
wish I
good.
had like an extra few million.
Yeah, 100%. That's what we're like.
Jesus.
Camping or resort?
We've been camping a bit. Like, I'm not opposed to it. I camped a lot in Tassie, but I would like a resort.
Resort,
I think
yep.
resort, yeah.
Yep.
Less to worry about.
Yeah. Got a pool.
Yeah, exactly.
One meal a day for the rest of your life. What are you choosing?
Shit. No, I don't want to eat shit. I don't know. That's hard. I don't love anything that much that I want to eat it every
Yeah.
day.
What did you go? I'm probably spag bowl, I reckon. Or a
Good
parma.
staple.
Yeah.
Last meal ever. You could choose one meal to be your last meal.
Last meal ever, yeah.
God, I don't know.
Don't know.
I honestly don't know. Probably Mexican food.
Yeah,
I love
Mexican.
Mexican food.
Yeah, no, fucking no. One fighter you would want to fight, past or present?
I really want to fight Paige Manzan again.
Yeah. Does that
Especially
really
now that
hurt
she's
ya?
in bare knuckle. She's
Oh,
in bare
true,
knuckle, yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That would be
so,
sick.
Yeah, it'll be a good fight.
Does that eat you up when you look like that, even back then?
Kind of, because yes, she knocked me down. I feel like the ref stopped it too early. I was still I was coming to. Like, I was at a flash knockdown and he kind of jumped in, didn't give me an opportunity to recover.
Yep.
Not saying it would have changed the fight, mate. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel like I was winning the fight up until then,
Yeah.
and she got very lucky with that kick. But she trains that kick, so you can't really say it's luck. She
Yeah.
was probably setting that up the whole time.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, definitely would love to run that back.
Surely that happens.
You'd think so.
That's the one,
You
isn't
think
it?
so? She hasn't won in bare knuckles, so I think they weren't trying to like match us until she won.
But imagine that, like the story behind it.
It'd
like,
be huge.
fuck,
It
that'd
makes
be massive.
sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense. I don't know why. So she fights. I think she fights in a few weeks actually.
Oh, she's got a fight
Yeah,
coming
in
up.
London.
Right.
So if she
Hopefully
wins
she
that,
wins, yeah.
Hopefully she wins.
Yeah.
I was annoyed when she lost the last one.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Paige.
Yeah. yeah.
Win. So I
Yeah.
can bash you.
Oh, it's a pisser. If you weren't fighting, what would you want to do?
Well, I think my end goal is to own a gym.
Yep.
I still want to stay in the sport. But before I started fighting, before I started training, I was training to be a hairdresser.
Yep.
So I would probably, if I didn't ever get into fighting, I'd probably be a hairdresser
Hairdresser.
now.
Yeah, nice. Love it.
But yeah, I want to own my own gym. I'm not really that great at coaching.
Yeah.
I don't think. I still don't know my left from my right sometimes.
Oh, fuck.
But my husband's a great coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely good. But I would bring a different aspect, I
Yeah.
guess, to the gym. So that's definitely my end game.
That'd be awesome.
I want to open a gym.
Yeah,
I know we can't do it while we're still fighting.
Yeah.
Because we can't. You have to be selfish when you're fighting. You
Yeah.
can't have to worry about other people.
Yeah. Nice. One person you would want to spend a weekend with? Anyone in the world?
Probably Tyson Fury.
Yeah? Yeah.
He's fucking cool.
Yeah,
he's
fucking
just
oath.
It's just the energy he brings. It would be awesome to spend the weekend with him.
Have
It'd
you
be
met him
wild.
before?
No, I
Nah.
haven't. Nah, it'll be cool though.
Yeah, that would be sick. A superpower, what would it be and why?
Probably to go invisible.
Yep.
Yeah, just so I can not
Creep on
have
people.
to talk to people.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm such a bitch.
Oh, that's funny. 3 artists to listen to on an island. So you're stuck on an island for
Mm-hmm.
a year. You got 3 artists.
Probably Tupac,
Yep.
definitely. Rihanna, I like her.
Yep.
and probably, oh no, I was gonna say Cardi B, but her last one was
Shit
crap.
ass.
Her first one was good. Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. 2 pet peeves?
Pet peeves. I do have pet peeves. Adrian will be like, well, you said. Oh God, I don't like nosy people.
Yep.
People that don't mind their own business.
Yep.
And probably eating with your mouth open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chewing really loudly. Who does it?
You do.
I chew with my mouth open, but no one can do it around me. I'm like, shh.
Nat does it sometimes when I pull her up, and then Squizzy, my best mate, he's the worst at it. Oh my God. Do you have hang on. What did you want to do as a kid when you were a kid?
As a kid, I wanted to be a strawberry.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, my parents didn't tell me you can't be a strawberry.
Nice.
I don't know.
I've never heard that. That's cool. Yeah.
I don't know. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah. Cool.
Other than that, I really liked Kathy Freeman. It was
Yep.
probably one of my biggest role models. So yeah, I was definitely wanted to be like her.
Yep.
Track and field. And,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have a crazy story? Like, doesn't have to be fighting. Like, ghost story, just any weird fucking story.
Probably nothing I want to talk about. Something might be incriminating.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay,
No.
And then I got a fan question on here from Bojack. Hey Beck, long time fan. You're a fucking weapon. First question: 11 p.m. at a bar with a shitty cover band. They need something to win the crowd back. They call you on stage. What are you singing?
Oh God. Actually, I know. I'll sing it today in the car. Adrian hates it. Lover, lover.
Lover, lover. Is that like a new song or an old?
No, it's old.
Lover,
Old.
lover, you don't treat me.
Yeah, that
yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's
a
my
good one.
go-to.
Yep. And then he goes, secondly, how many seconds would BASTI last with you in a backyard fight? No rules, 12-ounce gloves.
Look, I'd give you a minute and a half till you got tired. I'd just be ducking and weaving until you got tired, and then I'd choke you out.
Fucking oath. Beautiful. I love it. You're a legend. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. We'll play a game of pool and they'll call it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.